It is 8:51 right now, and what started as a single food cart in Queens is now a global brand with over 170 locations and counting. Shah's Halal Food just opened its 100th U.S. location right here in Edison, New Jersey, and they're celebrating in a big way. With fans across the country and around the world, Shah's has become the fastest growing halal quick serve brand by bringing rich, authentic flavors to the mainstream. Joining us now is Khalid Mashriqi, who is the CEO of Shah's Halal Food, to talk about his major milestone, the journey from cart to franchise empire, and what's next for the brand. Congratulations. Good to have you on this morning, Khalid.
Good morning, Ken. Thank you for having us.
You
How
bet.
are you?
You're an American success story. What does this milestone mean for you personally and to the whole team that is part of Shah's?
It's very humbling to be honest with you. Like you mentioned, we started with one mobile food cart, with no vision, just to start a business back in 2005, and throughout the years, it kind of grew into. We went from one cart location to about 22 cart locations in Queens, New York, small communities, small neighborhoods, and in 2016, we actually opened up our first QSR brick and mortar location. So from 16 until now, what's that, about 8 years? 9 years? Is it?
Yeah,
We
nine
have
years.
over,
Yeah.
yeah, we have over 100 USA locations. So we just celebrated this past weekend our 100th in Edison because that was number 100, but we've actually surpassed that. So we're actually at about 109 right now that are open and operating. And we have
That's
about,
so cool.
thank you, thanks so much. We have about 44 in construction. And we just started franchising, I would say, about 9 months ago, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
You know what? I
And we
worked
do.
I worked in Manhattan. Khalid, I'm sorry to step on you. I worked in Manhattan for like 28, 30 years, and I lived off of the halal carts, the greatest food, and the lines of people. What do you think? First of all, tell everybody what halal food is, the restrictions on how the animals are processed, et cetera. And then why do you think so many people have immediately taken to the food? What do you think is special about it that everyone goes, "Whoa, this is delicious"?
I think you nailed it when you said, it's basically a New York City cultural thing. You have the food carts in the city, and, in the early 80s, I would say 90s, they were really hot dog carts. And
Right.
then at some point, I believe it was the halal guys first, they started, servicing the taxis with the chicken over rice. And the gyro over rice, like the Greek gyro, basically over rice,
Right.
but just different flavor. And then they created obviously their own sauces. So we actually started in Queens, New York, in smaller neighborhoods, smaller communities, with our own recipes. And it's become a national, international phenomenon as far as taking New York City cultural food and introducing it to the world. For
For
us,
me,
that's
for me, by the way, for when I come to your Queens location, I'm going to do lamb over rice, please. Extra white sauce, pita on the side, lots of lettuce. Is that okay? Do I have it
yeah,
down?
yes, yes, definitely. If you're in New Jersey, obviously you're in New Jersey, correct? So you can just
Yes.
come visit one of our locations there. Right now we're expanding in New Jersey and other states, obviously. So we'll have something close to you.
I love it. I love it. So take us
You know
back
what?
to the very, very beginning because it's not, people talk about starting a business like it's nothing. It's an effort to start a business. So talk about, what made you say, "Hey, I got to survive somehow," and where did you get the money? Where did you get the idea? And just said, "Let me just do it."
So the story, to be honest with you, my father. So it's a family business. It's me, my father, and my two brother-in-laws. My two
Mm.
brother-in-laws are obviously married to my older sisters. We're all 1 year apart, so back to back. My older sister Tamina, her husband, his name is Shah. So it's him, and then Raheem. He's actually traveling right now, so they couldn't get on the call. Um, he's married to my second sister, who's now our franchise director. She was an educator with the Department of Education for 15 years, and she's actually our franchise director now. So we kind of, shipped her over, stole her from the Department of Education after 15 years. But so Shah and my father actually started the first cart back in 2005. I was in college at the time, and so after they started the first location, I joined the company when we were on the second location, uh,
Wow,
and
that's
then
amazing.
I basically finished school and I joined the company, and then I was just basically in the driving seat from there. So it's a
I
very
mean, but
it's a yeah. Go ahead.
But I have to jump in, Khalid, because not a lot of businesses grow by leaps and bounds by 80 or 100 locations a year. This is exploding right now. So you expect to have 300 locations by the end of the year? We got about a minute left. Tell us how the plan is to get there.
Oh, we have a beautiful story, by the way, and because the time is so limited, to get into the details, I think me and you're going to be sitting here all day. But just to kind of sum it up, you did mention halal. Obviously, ironically, it's slaughtering or killing the animal in the most fashionable way possible, right? So the feed is basically antibiotic free, and you give them a very natural feed. And then when you're killing the animal or slaughtering the animal, you have to basically do it in a specific method. That makes it halal. But again, like I mentioned, halal in America is always been for us first a religion aspect, but then it's become a cultural thing where you have New York City street food, and we just took it to another level and introduced it to mainstream American market. New Yorkers know about it, but the rest of the states obviously didn't, and we kind of introduced it there, and then international as well. So by the end
Love
of
it.
this
Well,
year in the US, we should have about 150, 160 locations, and then we also
love
have
it.
international operations.
Khalid, we got to cut you off because we're literally the show's over, but it's Shah's Halal Food just opened its 100th location here in Edison, New Jersey. CEO Khalid Mashriqi, thank you for joining us this morning. Congratulations. Come back again.
Yes, we will. We will. We'll have a longer
All right.
conversation next time.
You bet. We'll do a whole show on it.